Oh, alright. What's going on YouTube? So, surfing around YouTube today, and, well, after Earth Hour, I'll plug that first. Earth Hour was awesome. Spent an hour, turned off all the power. That was sweet. And just kind of reflected on what there was to reflect about. Mainly, what it would have been like to live in every generation, or not every generation, but every other period of time that didn't have, all this technology that we have. And that's pretty cool. So afterwards, I'm screwing around looking on YouTube, and I started looking at, like, a lot of people's theories about God and, well, atheism and things like that. And one guy um, presenting a very, very interesting discussion about how he knew there was no creator or something like that. I didn't really pay too much attention to the words, but um, yeah, I guess that kind of brings me into the next thing that I want to, like, present to everybody, in that I think that the generations before us, in keeping with my chosen generation theme, I believe that the generations before us have forced upon, the religious side ideologies, and we can look back into history, and we really see that, throughout history, religion has divided and caused all of this mayhem and grief. And yet, when you look at the core of a lot of legitimate, I use that very briefly, I'll explain why. You look at the core of a lot of legitimate religious texts, and often the message is peace and love. Now, aside from that, I think what we've done is gotten everything confused, and we've put in all of this power into the words that people have written down. Now, I'm not saying that there's no validity, don't get me wrong, in the Bible or any other texts, or any other holy texts, because I do feel that there's some amazing things to be said, and that are found, in the Bible and these kind of things. That aside, though, what we've done is put all of this weight in the words of men, and in like physical things that we've been able to write down. And that, to me, seems, the fact that we've based, well, a lot of people have based their lives, but the fact that we base religions on this is, well, you go to a party and the next day you try to explain to somebody who wasn't at the party what the party was like, and it's really difficult. You can get a lot of the main points down, but you're not going to be able to talk about every little detail, the things that were going on in the side that were really important that maybe you missed, or the smells and the sounds. You can't describe those things. And so what we're doing is getting all of this information that somebody's written down because they've had an experience in one way or another of who they decided to be the creator. Now, I'm asking us as a generation, and really as a world, to maybe come to terms with the fact that whatever existed before all of this, whatever existed before time and space, that's what God is. because before there was everything, it existed in a bowl of nothing. And in that is God, to me. Well, I really feel like it's a logical way of thinking about it. Yeah, I can understand how it can be maybe difficult for some people to come to terms to, because throughout a lot of our lives we're taught that religion is rules and regulations and the firm fist of God hammering down on you so you repent. But I mean, it was never supposed to be like that, you know? It was supposed to be good news, and now everybody can live their lives peacefully because, if you, I'll take the Bible because it's what I know. Basically, at the end of it all, throughout the Bible, I mean, you follow the commandment of love your neighbor as you would love yourself, and thereby you follow every other commandment. So if you just have love for the people around you, like that's kind of what that one text is teaching. Now I'm going to a Sikh gathering this Saturday with some friends of mine. I'm gonna check that out, and yeah, I'll have a little bit more information about that. But it seems to me like it's time to stop making up ways of arguing with each other and making up ways of creating this pyramid ladder of success. There's all of these pyramids that, like, they only exist inside of our heads, inside of our minds, because that's been what we've been taught. When really what it should be is, like, there's God and, like, there's humans. Like, here we are. Like, instead, we've built a pyramid out of equality, and look where it's gotten us so far. To me, it doesn't seem like it's worked. And it's not hard to go back in time and look and see what's happening. In fact, like, it's crazy. I think that if we just come to the conclusion that whatever existed, whatever is out there, well, not out there, but here in us and through everything, because I think separation from God, that's something that we also made up. That's something that we also, it's just been kind of implanted in our minds. That it just isn't true. You can't be the sheet of paper and then draw existence without drawing on yourself. If you kind of catch that analogy. And the piece of paper still exists under the felt, even though there's creation on top of it. Creation exists in a pool of what is God, right? So, I don't know, there's something to think about. Happy Earth Day, everybody. I hope that soon we can take things like that more seriously. And, fuck Earth Day, and, like, let's make this a Earth generation. Let's pick things up, turn things around, and head towards the good. There's only two options, right? We can keep running into the darkness of the tunnel, into the destruction and wherever we're going, or we can stop and, I don't know, maybe dig out a tunnel and try to go another way around. We gotta do something, guys. We gotta do something. So, that being said, VC, or VC. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Yeah. Good night, everybody.